Hello and welcome. Today, just like last week, we were talking and getting to know me a little bit more. This week, we get to do the same thing with Jessi and find out a little bit more about her. As she said last week, we have been friends since our kids were tiny and have done a lot of life together. And I just appreciate her friendship and the way that she loves people generously and with her whole heart and her whole family. And so it's been just a thrill to get to do, to now get to work together as well. And so I think one of the things that's been fun and that we've seen as we've done this is how our backgrounds have really prepared us for even just doing this. And I think when we met, 13 years ago, we would never have said like, we're going to work together and we're going to be able to do this. And at that point we would have probably been like, well, yeah, we have some similarities, but whatever. So that being said, like, tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are right now.
So I've known forever that I want to be a teacher. You could have asked me when I was 10 and I said, I'm going to be a teacher, and went to college and everybody was changing their majors and I went, nope, I'm a teacher. And I know at the heart of who I am, that's where I'm most comfortable. I'm a teacher. So went to college and got my undergraduate in education and taught high school. One of the first high school, the very first teaching job I had was at an inner city high school for kids who had insane amounts of trauma. And that deeply impacted the rest of my life and where I wanted to go and how I wanted to work with people. Just knowing the kids and their hearts and where they were coming from was incredibly impactful, impacting to me. Got my master's in curriculum instruction, had some babies, started working from home, doing some online teaching, which I really enjoyed, being a mom and still teaching. And then felt like, I'm ready to get a doctorate. I want to do this. Let's get this done. I love learning. I love learning. And so it was a gift to be able to go back to school and study and have kids and all of that kind of stuff. So I finished my doctorate a couple years ago, and I very much thought that I would teach at a university. That was kind of my goal. I wanted to teach teachers how to teach. In the process of me finishing up my doctorate, in the midst of the doctorate, somewhere in there, my daughter was diagnosed with dyslexia in second grade. And I realized pretty quickly that I didn't know very much about dyslexia, even though I had a ton of background in education. And so we started out on this idea of kind of doing the traditional tutoring and getting her help that way. And then we heard about a therapy called the neuroorganizational technique, and I had never heard about it before. And somebody close to us had gone through it, and it had greatly helped them with their dyslexia. And I thought it would sound crazy, and my husband said, I think we have to try. And so we did. And we just saw really huge gains in her, and gains that I couldn't reproduce in a classroom. And so that took me down a path that I never in a million years would have expected. And that has led me to learn more about the therapy, and kind of take what I learned about that therapy and mix it what I know about education to start the Brain Breakthrough, which is what I do today in my job outside of ACT Parenting. So I work with families, people from ages 7 to 80 who struggle with concussions, learning issues, dyslexia, trauma, and anxiety. And it's a hands-on work. We know that there are disconnections in the body and the neural pathways because of trauma or predispositioned genetic things. And so we want to make it easier for the body to process information, have less anxiety, read, learn things, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what I do. I own the Brain Breakthrough. I have a few practitioners that work with me, which I really love pouring into them and teaching them the work. And yeah, I often think this is not at all where I thought my life was going to be, but I wouldn't want to be any place else. It's just, it's a joy.
Yeah. It's been really fun to watch you on this journey, Chase, like to see the things that are in front of you and that, like you said, that love of learning, and then just to dive in. And what the thing I appreciate about you is you don't keep that love of learning to yourself. you want to share it with other people.
That's the teacher in me. I mean, as soon as I learned about this therapy, I was like, "Ooh, I have to teach people how to do this."
Right, right. But you didn't just learn it then a little bit. You like dove in, deep dived in, so that you could really learn it and really teach it well, and that quality of it. And it's it's been amazing to see the results of that. So
yeah, it's been fun for sure.
For you, like as you know, as a parent, what's the best advice that you've been given?
I think the best advice I've been given is to know each of my kids well and to parent them differently. And I didn't know that coming into parenthood. I just assumed like, well, these are the rules of our house and I'm going to, parent you all the same, your kids, you're in the same home. And this idea of really studying my children and understanding what they need from me, not what I think they need from me, not what I needed from my parents at their age, but like they individually, what do they need from me? How do they feel loved? What triggers do they have? And that takes a level of grace for yourself, because I don't always do it very well, but it also takes just making sure that I'm taking the time to study my children, and to know that they're very different and they need different things from me, and that's okay.
Yeah. Man, thinking about what our kids need more than what we just
would like them to need.
Yeah. Not always easy, but really
well. But I know that it's important.
Yeah, exactly. And isn't that what good parenting is?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
What are 3 things that make Jessi Jessi?
I love books. That's very important. I can tell how stressed I am by how many books I'm reading, because the more stressed out I feel, the more books I'm reading in my life. They're my escape life. I love to travel. I've always known that I love to travel, but I think for sure being quarantined has made me realize like that's a huge value in my life. Like I want to go and travel and see new places and meet new people all the time. And the third is that I love having people in my home. We call our house the Siganer B&B, because we usually have an open door policy for anybody. Like even if you're a friend of a friend that needs a place to stay, we always have a place for people. And I just love having people in my home and having the people around, and so that's those things definitely.
Yeah, you're very welcoming to anybody if you feel like home there. So what are your current favorite books, being the book lover that you are, or podcasts that you are really enjoying right now?
Well, shockingly, we're friends and we love podcasts. So first, Emily P. Freeman, The Next Thing. It's just, I feel like it's given me so much freedom in my life to just need to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And I love big dreams. I love looking out on the horizon and seeing all these things that could be. And it's been really freeing to just know that I just need to do the next right thing. And sometimes the next right thing is reading a book or making my kids lunch. And I don't have to plan that far in advance. So that has been huge. I love The 100-Year-Old Man.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. I have the book over there. Anyhow, it's 100-Year-Old Man, and it's one of my favorite books. I use it with my clients. All of my clients absolutely love it. It's hysterical.
It is.
It's a really fun mixture of informational text and historical text and present day, and it's just a really great story. So that's a book I love to read, and I love any of Hannah Kristen's stuff.
She does. Yeah, I mean, you could get us started talking on books for a while. Yeah,
so much.
If people want to connect with you outside, especially through the brain breakthrough, if they are like, hey, I have some of these things that, in our family that she's been talking about, like you said, the, learning issues, concussion, that kind of stuff, how can they find you?
They can find me at thebrainbreakthrough.com. Learn more about what we do. Our therapy takes about 3 to 5 days. So whether you're in town in Portland, or we also have people that fly in just for a few days to see us, or you can email me at info@thebrainbreakthrough.com, or find me on Facebook, thebrainbreakthrough.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about yourself, for letting us get to know you more. you bring so much to our group here, and just value your wisdom and look forward to seeing what this continues to be. So if you want to connect with Jessi, find her, talk to her. She's great. She'll answer your questions. If she doesn't know, she's awesome at helping you figure out where you need to go. So, yeah.
Thank you.